Finding your way around the Blender screen for first-timers. Run Blender and take a gander at the default screen. Click anywhere to get rid of the splash screen picture. Okay, here are the first few parts of the Blender screen you should know about. The top bar across the top here is called the top bar, and it has a sort of a typical menu in the left-hand edge of that. Eventually, you're going to need to exit from Blender, and one way is that in the File menu, there's a Quit button. And that's like any other program on your Windows or Linux or Mac system. And I'm going to test you on that later. The screen is divided into several major areas, and I'll talk about them all some other time. The main part of the screen is called the 3D viewport, and you see in the middle of it the default cube. Notice that if you click the cursor on a blank part of the screen, the cube, which started off with a highlight around it, the highlight disappears. If you click on the cube, that's selecting the cube and it becomes highlighted. It's now the object that you have selected to work with. And that's your first lesson in how to use how to select things in Blender. Now, at the top of this 3D viewport, under the top bar, there seem to be two more menus. This is a problem with Blender. It seems to have menu after menu after menu. And actually, of these two bars here, which are part of the viewport, the 3D viewport, the bottom one is actually the menu. Blender is a very modal program. This means that what tools you see in the menus will change depending on what mode you are in. Therefore, a very important tool in the 3D viewport is this interaction mode drop-down. It defaults to object mode. 3D models in Blender can be made of multiple objects, which is similar to building items out of multiple prims in OpenSim. In object mode, you can manipulate the organization of the prims in your build. You'll probably spend most of your time in edit mode. Make sure the cube is selected, and if not, click on it until it has the highlight around it. And use the drop-down to select edit mode. Now you see the vertexes and edges of the cube highlighted, and you have the potential to edit each of these separately. This is sort of like going into the edit linked mode in OpenSim, except that there are many more ways to edit a prim in Blender. That's probably enough information for now. It's time for your quiz. Do you remember how to exit from Blender? I told you to use the Quit button, but whoops, Blender is warning you that you potentially made some changes to this. Do you want to save it?